When I was younger, I was afraid of exactly one future. This one, old, alone, in a foreign country where I didn't speak the language, in some apartment surrounded by strangers who didn't know me and didn't care to. I pictured it in detail. That's the one thing about anxiety, it's very cinematic. Mine had a full production budget, gray light, a radiator that didn't work, me hunched over a cup of tea, staring out of a window at a country that never quite let me in. So let me tell you where I actually am. I'm in a stunning apartment. And I know everybody says that. Everybody's apartment is stunning now. But mine has the light, the kind of light that comes in at an angle in the late afternoon and makes you stop what you're doing for a second. And it's affordable. That word, affordable, attached to that word, stunning. Nobody told me those two words were allowed in the same sentence. I spent decades believing you got one or the other. And if you were a woman living on your own, you probably got neither. The neighborhood is quiet, not empty quiet, peaceful quiet. There's a difference, and it took me 63 years to learn it. Around one corner, there's a bakery, fresh bread every day. The smell hits you before you even see the door. Around another corner, the pharmacy. A little further up, the grocery. Then a little stand with fruit and vegetables, so ripe you have to eat them that afternoon or lose them, which is its own small pressure, but a good one. All of it within walking distance. I don't own a car here. I don't want one. I don't need one. My legs, a canvas bag, and a small backpack get me everything I need. And the bread's still warm by the time I get it home. And the people, the locals. This is the part that really gets me, because this is the part I got most wrong. In my catastrophe version, the locals were cold, suspicious of this strange, older foreign woman. In the real version, they're kind, they're helpful, they're friendly in that low-key way where nobody's performing it. The woman at the produce stand remembers me. A man held the door and said something I didn't fully understand, and it didn't matter because the meaning was obvious. And the meaning was, you're fine here. So here's what I wish somebody had told me when I was young and lying awake, building the worst case slideshow in my head. You're going to end up alone in a foreign country, and it's going to be one of the best things that ever happened to you. I know, nobody says that. Nobody warns you about the good endings. We warn each other about everything else. We'll tell a young woman about every terrible thing that might happen to her, every man who might leave, every plan that might fall apart, every way the floor might drop out. We are extremely thorough about the disasters, but nobody pulls you aside to say, by the way, one possible version of your life involves warm bread, cheap rent, good light, and a genuine sense of peace. And you'll get there alone, and alone will be the reason it works. Because if someone had told me that, I wouldn't have believed them. Let me be honest about that. 25-year-old me would have heard you'll be single and living abroad in your 60s and stopped listening right there at single, because that word had been loaded up with so much fear that nothing after it could land. I'd have missed the entire good part of the sentence. But it still would have helped, because even if I didn't believe it, some small stubborn piece of me might have filed it away. And maybe on the worst nights, the ones where the catastrophe slideshow was really running, that small piece might have whispered, or it goes fine. It just goes fine. And that whisper might have saved me a lot of grief I didn't need to have. Years of it, worrying about a future that showed up gentle. Here's the distinction I want to make, because it's the whole thing. I'm alone. That part came true. I got that one right, but I'm not lonely. And I spent my whole younger life treating those two words like they were the same word. Alone, lonely, interchangeable, a package deal. If you were one, you were automatically the other. And both were a kind of failure. They're not the same word. They never were the same word. Alone is a fact about how many chairs are at my table. Lonely is a feeling, and it's a feeling I've had at crowded tables, in a full house, sitting next to people who were supposed to keep me from ever feeling it. Loneliness doesn't check whether you're alone first. It'll find you in a marriage. It'll find you at a party. And it turns out it mostly can't find me here in this quiet apartment in this foreign country with my warm bread and my ripe tomatoes and the woman at the stand who remembers my face. I eat dinner by a window with good light. I walk to get what I need. I understand about a third of what my neighbors say to me, and we manage completely. And most days there's a moment, small, unremarkable, where I catch myself and think, this is the thing I was terrified of? This exact thing. This is the nightmare I lost sleep over for 30 years. It has fresh bread around the corner. So if you're young and you're lying awake, running the scary version, I can't tell you it won't happen. Some of it might. I ended up exactly where I was afraid I'd end up. I was just scared of the wrong thing. I'm Lil, and this is Lil Unfiltered.